everybody, and welcome to my channel, Everyday with Jackie. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell so you're aware every time I upload a video. And for my returning subscribers, it's good to see you as always. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today's video is entitled, If I Had to Do It All Over Again. So if you're interested in knowing what this video is all about, you'll have to keep watching. I came home from work last night tired, and it was about 8:30, and I knew that I didn't have a video to upload for today. So I just sat around and I started thinking, and I was like, well, you can record something real quick because you already have your makeup done. But honestly, 8:30 at night, I was tired and I just didn't have it in me. But as I was sitting thinking about what I wanted to record, I came up with this video today, and again, it's called If I Had to Do It All Over Again. So today's video is about products that I purchased, and knowing what I know now, I would not have purchased them in the first place. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. I have some products all lined up in front of me, so let's just go ahead and get to it. The first product I want to talk about is my L'Oreal Revitalift moisturizer. This is the moisturizer that I use in the daytime, and it does have the SPF of 25. And the reason this product has made it to this video is because I'm starting to do a closer look about the sunscreens that are in products now. So I looked up on the internet sunscreens or ingredients that were harmful in sunscreens, and lo and behold, this product had one of the ingredients, and that ingredient is called avobenzone, and it has 3%, and it is one of the harmful chemicals found in sunscreen. And I think I found out a little late because this is almost gone. But I chose this moisturizer. It was a step up from the other L'Oreal face cream that I used to use. This one is supposed to be for mature skin, and it's supposed to do a little bit of lifting and firming of the skin. So I purchased this, but at the time, I just knew it had sunscreen, so I didn't look at the ingredients or anything. So once I discovered that this one had the avobenzone in it, I decided that I would not purchase this ever again. So again, knowing what I know now, I would not have purchased this in the first place. And I am noticing a trend with L'Oreal products. L'Oreal also has a foundation that I wanted to try for mature skin. It's a L'Oreal Perfect something serum foundation. And I want that foundation so much, and I looked up the ingredients the other day, and it has sunscreen in it, and again, it had one of the harmful sunscreens in that foundation as well. And I'll put the name on the screen. I can't remember the exact name of the foundation, but it's supposed to be geared for mature skin as well, and I'll pop it up on the screen. But I wanted that foundation so bad, and it does have SPF in it. But when I saw that it was, again, one of the harmful ingredients, I just went ahead and marked it off my list. So I am no longer jonesing for that foundation. And I'm probably not going to use any more of the L'Oreal skincare products that especially have the sunscreen in it, because if they're gonna have those harmful ingredients for my skin, it's just gonna be a pass for me. So again, knowing what I know now, I never would have purchased this in the first place. So the next product I want to talk about is Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. I have hardly used this foundation at all. This foundation is so full coverage, is so matte, and I should have, you know how you try just too hard to make something work? That's me with this foundation, even from the word go. I made several trips to Ulta trying to find my perfect match I stayed in Ulta and I swatched and swatched. I went back and I swatched and swatched some more. And I just kept saying, there is not a shade in this foundation for me. I went ahead and watched plenty of people use the foundation that I thought, you know, may have been my skin tone. So I settled on the shade Burkina. This foundation on my skin just makes my skin look so dry. I did a video where I had this foundation on and I looked so dry, almost to the point of ashy. It's just too much for me. It's too heavy. I need I like a more luminous foundation. I have tried recently mixing this with a face primer and a moisturizing cream just to see if I could have more luminosity in it, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I have made this foundation work one time when I used the Versali Gold. I think it was a 24 karat, and I put that on my skin first, and it left it with a little nice glowy, luminous look. And then I put the foundation on top, and I liked it better that way. And if I'm gonna continue to use it, I would definitely use it with the Versali, and I would just take just a little bit. You guys know it only takes a drop of this. And again, just knowing what I know now, I never would have purchased it. I worked too hard to bring this home. I should have never purchased it in the first place. I should have just went with my first thought because I really couldn't find a shade, but I went ahead and made myself buy it, and this is just definitely not a love for me. So again, if I had only known what I know now, this would have never come home with me. The next product that I want to talk about is a setting spray, and this is by BH Cosmetics. It's the Studio Pro Makeup Setting Spray. I've had this for quite a while, and the one thing about this setting spray that I detest is that this setting spray is so sticky. It is very sticky on the face. If you touch your face, it just radiates stickiness. I even use this today because I won't use it as a setting spray on my face anymore, but I did use it to wet my brush when I was applying my eyeshadow. And even with that, the brush doesn't even glide because it's sticky. So I can't even use it in that manner because I was trying to use it, you know, when I buy a product, I want to try to, even though it's not a favorite, I do want to try to get the most use out of it as I can, just so I'm not wasteful. But I can't even use it to wet my brush. So again, this is just a very sticky product. I purchased it online at BH Cosmetics, and again, knowing what I know now, I never would have purchased this in the first place. So this is definitely something that I wish I didn't even have in my collection. Okay, so just continuing on with the face sprays, my next product is by Glow Recipe, and this is the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist, and it says that it is hydrating plus glowing radiance. And as you can see, I have hardly used this at all because this did not deliver like I thought it would. Meaning I thought this was going to give me a luminous, radiant finish to my skin, and it does not. The one thing that I actually love about this is the mist. When it says it is a ultra fine mist, it definitely is, but I think it's geared more towards giving a glow, a soft glow, but it's not hydrating. I didn't find that this is hydrating at all. I didn't find that it was luminous like I thought it would be. It just provides a little hint of glow to the skin. And when I picked this up, I thought it was going to be a nice, because I was starting to move into the hydrating formulas for my skin, and I thought this is what this was, but it gives you maybe a glow, but really no hydration. And that's what I wanted in this product. So because of that, I hardly ever use it. I do need to start using it because, again, I don't want to be wasteful, but knowing what I know now, I never would have picked this up. I just thought it was going to perform in a different manner, and it didn't for me. So again, I never would have purchased this knowing what I know now. The next product that I want to talk about is called Clean and Clear Deep Action Cream Cleanser, and this is by Johnson & Johnson. Now, I told you guys the story about how we picked this up at Walmart when we were traveling to Georgia, and my sister and I picked this up because we didn't take a face cleanser with us. And when I tell you that this performs so poorly, I cannot stand this cleanser. This is just like slathering lotion on your face. It didn't suds up, it didn't lather. It was just actually like you were just putting lotion on. I wish I had never purchased this, and I only keep this around, for emergencies. If I happen to run out of the cleanser that I'm using now and I have nothing else, that's why I keep this around. But again, this is not a love. I wish I had never purchased this. Knowing what I know now, would I repurchase this again? Absolutely not. This is horrible, guys. And y'all know I never say stuff like that, but this is just not a good product. It's just like lotion on your skin. So this, knowing what I know now, this would have never come home with me. Next up, I want to talk about a face primer, and this is by Wet n Wild. It's called the Photo Focus Face Primer, and this is matte. And I purchased this a few years ago, and just looking for a face primer, didn't even really know what type of skin I had or what I was really looking for. So I just purchased this at Walmart, and again, it was back then, I was all about the matte look. Everything had to be matte. Primer had to be matte. Foundation had to be matte. Powder had to be mattifying. Everything had to be matte. So I purchased this, and it did not deliver. This primer, my nose was oily. My T-zone was super oily. I didn't find this was a mattifying primer whatsoever. And I keep it around and use it when I do my drugstore videos, because I want to use all drugstore products. But I never say that this is a good primer, because maybe for your skin type, this may perform well. But I do have an oily T-zone, so I have combo skin. This does not mattify whatsoever. I am just about out of this, so probably won't see it pop up too much longer. But again, if I only knew back then, I would have never purchased this. So live and learn. Okay, so the next product I do want to mention is by Fenty Beauty, and it is the Brow MVP. This is an eyebrow pencil, and this is in the shade Soft Black. Now, we'll talk about the pros. The one thing that I do like about this pencil is not that side, is the brush that it has. I find that this brush is great for brushing through your eyebrows. It seems that it grooms your eyebrows really well and brushes them out, so you can go ahead in with the brow product. So I love the brush on this. For me, I feel like I have to work too hard with this eyebrow pencil. I like a pencil that is sharp, so I can make those hair-like strokes, and so I could kind of perfect my tail on my brows. And this point on here is a little rounded. I like a pencil that has a sharp point on it. And again, this is kind of round. And the reason I say I have to work so hard, again, this is in Soft Black, so I don't feel like if I go to, I guess, maybe the next shade is just black, I feel like that may be too harsh. But I have to work kind of hard to get this to show up. This is Soft Black. So I feel like I work too hard to even get it to show up in my brows. So again, this is not a love for me. I like a pencil that I can sharpen. I may have my, you know, my ride or die is my Rimmell London. I just used it and sharpened it. So I just like a brow pencil that is sharp, not rounded on the tip. You guys know my ride or die is my Rimmell London, and I just sharpened it for this video. And this is my Rimmell London right here, and this is the Fenty. This one is just, it just gives me so much more pigment, and I don't have to work that hard. I can sharpen it, and it just, you know, is more precise. What I don't like is that the more you sharpen it, the lid does not fit. It's like when you put the lid down, it presses up against the tip. But we're not here to talk about this one because I do love this. But again, this one by Fenty is not a love. And knowing that it would not be a love, knowing what I know now, I would not have purchased it, and I definitely will not repurchase it. I purchased it because I did a Black History video, and I also have it around. That's why I'm not using it now. I don't want to use it up, because when I do those videos, I don't want to have to go out and buy another Black-owned product. So that's why I'm hanging on to this. So I probably won't use it anymore until I produce content like that on my channel. But again, this would not be a repurchase knowing what I know now. Also, while we're talking about Fenty, now you guys know there are plenty of Fenty products that I absolutely love. These are just two that I have that are definitely not loves for me. And the next one is the Fenty Beauty Mascara. And this is called the Full Frontal Mascara. This is not a love for me because it's just too hard to work with for me. In terms of, you know, the unique thing about it is supposed to be that it's flat on one side and then the bristles are on the other side. This is just, it just doesn't do it for my lashes. It's just, I really can't understand how to use it. I go in with this bristle part, and it doesn't provide me with enough length or volume for my lashes. I don't really understand what the flat side is for. This is just a little too advanced for me. So this turned out not to be a mascara that I love. And again, I'm keeping it around just like the Fenty Beauty Eyebrow Pencil, just for certain content that I will show on my channel. But if I had known what I know now, this also would not have made it home with me. This would not be a product that I would have purchased. Next, I want to talk about two products by Estee, and they are the, well, one is called the Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadows, and this one is called the Shimmering Heights Shimmer and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. Now, back when I purchased these, everybody was using these on their channel. I didn't have a channel at the time. Everybody was using these, and I thought they were creating such pretty looks with these. When I put these on my lid, they just looked horrible. I don't know what the technique is or how to use these specifically, I guess, but I have never been able to use these to blend them out fast enough to keep them from transferring, because I do have hooded eyes. So I just have never been able to use them and to make it work. I do want to, because I feel like they really amp up your eye look, but I haven't been successful in using them. So let me show you the other one. Now, I did get these on sale, this one on sale, so it does make me feel a little better. But again, I just can't make it work. I have tried, I just can't make it work. I'm going to continue to try, but knowing, you know, what I know now, that I've had such a hard time even using them, even creating a look with them. If I had known back then what I know now, I never would have purchased these. Next up, let's talk about an eyeshadow palette. This palette is by Urban Decay, and it's called the Elements palette. And I think really that I was suckered in by the beautiful packaging. I still stand by that. This is a gorgeous palette on the outside. I really like it a lot. It has this giant mirror that I absolutely love. You definitely, this is all you need to get your makeup look done. This is a huge mirror. And some of the shades in this palette are gorgeous. I mean, when I would see it on YouTube, I was just like, oh, I gotta have that. That is so pretty. And I have tried to make a look with the blues. I don't think I've ever done an eyeshadow look with blue. Sorry about that. Got choked up. As I was saying, I don't think I have ever done an eyeshadow look with blue, but these blues, they look so pretty. But there again, I just don't use this palette. I don't think I have ever created a full look with this palette on YouTube or off. I've just never have created a look with it. I have tried, and maybe I just need to try again, because as I'm starting to grow with my eyeshadow looks, maybe, you know, sometimes that's what happens. You know, I'll buy a palette, can't make it work, just, you know, I'm still learning. And as I'm starting to develop, you know, looks, then I can reach for a palette and then, you know, just love a look that I've created with it. But this one, I never even think about trying to create a look. I just put this away in my makeup drawer, never think about touching it. So just with that said, and knowing that piece of information, I never would have purchased this in the first place. But since I do have it, I am going to really try to create a look using this palette. But this is something I just really never reach for, never even want to. I'm never drawn to even try to pick it up. Knowing what I know now, I never would have purchased this. Next up is a face palette. My last two items are face palettes. And this one is by BH Cosmetics, and it's called Forever Sculpt and Glow Nude. And this is another product I bought when I just started using makeup. So this is what it looks like on the outside. And when you open it up, it has this little mirror. And this is what the palette looks like. So I thought that this was going to be much deeper than it is. And it may look deep on camera, but especially this shade right here, I don't think I've ever used it. This just does not fit my complexion whatsoever. And back then, this is like a little banana powder. I don't even know if you can tell that. Back then, I wasn't using a banana powder. So the most that I've ever used this palette for is the blush. When I got it, I wasn't bronzing. Even though this has a little shimmer in it, I never bronzed my skin. I never did highlighter. So I don't even know why I would pick up this palette. This palette just really does not call me, but the blush shade is cute. I like it a lot. I don't want to pick up a face palette just for a blush. Knowing what I know now, this never should have come home with me. I should have never purchased it. So again, you live and you learn. Now, the last product I do want to talk about is another face palette. Now, this is by Cover FX, and I saw all kinds of people using it on their channel, and it looked beautiful. Their skin looked fantastic using this, and it was a very complimentary palette for them, and that's what drew me in. I saw Rachel using it, and she looks beautiful when she uses this palette. I saw Camille from Colorful Camille. She had this palette. She loves this palette. It looks gorgeous on them. But for some reason, for me, let me show it to you first of all. After seeing Rachel and Camille use this palette, I had to have it. I just wanted it so badly. And when I got it, I didn't like it. I love this blush. I love this. It says this is supposed to be a contour, but I can use it as a bronzer. But I never really gravitated towards these shades. The highlighters I have used a few times, but you know, they're not my typical choice when it comes to a highlighter. I like something a little bit more deeper, a little bit more kind of gold, you know, kind of like a gold or rose gold tone. These just were not my favorites. So again, this one and this one are the shades that I use the most. In the other ones, I have used the highlighters, but they're just not my favorite. Again, there are two products or two shades in here that I do like a lot, but that's not enough for me to warrant buying or to warrant having a full face palette. So again, knowing what I know now, this would not have been a purchase for me. But for my ladies out there that have it and love it, I think it looks gorgeous on you guys, and you guys are the ones that persuaded me to pick it up in the first place. But again, certain products work out better for some than it does for others, and this is just not a love for me. So once again, this I should have never purchased. And again, knowing what I know now, I never would have picked this one up. So that's it, everybody, for today's video. Knowing what I know now, I never would have purchased these products that I've shown you here today. So I hope you liked today's video. If you did like the video, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and ring the notification bell so you'll know each and every time that I upload a video. And share the channel because you know I don't mind. And lastly, please know that you're always welcomed and wanted here on my channel. And with that said, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.